So did y'all know that Martin Luther King Jr. literally paid for Julia Roberts to be born? Now this crazy part of history is being brought up again because of that viral clip with the Italian interviewer, where she asked a charge question to Julia Roberts and Andrew Garfield that negatively framed the Black Lives Matter and Me Too movement, while purposefully excluding Ayo Edebiri, who's the only person whose identity actually intersected with both topics. Like she literally, for no explainable reason, said the question is only for Andrew and Julia. And in case you haven't seen the clip afterwards, Andrew Garfield immediately turns to his co-stars in disbelief, Julia Roberts throws shade with a clever quip, and Ayo answers the question anyways with a thoughtful and eloquent response. Now, after the backlash, the interviewer went online to basically say that the people who had a problem with what she did were the real racists and that she wasn't. But anyways, no one should be surprised by how well they all responded and how these two supported Ayo, and specifically I want to talk about Julia Roberts. Because if you entertain the idea of a white ally, she was basically predestined to be one. Because as I said earlier, Martin Luther King Jr., the same one who gave the I Have a Dream speech, literally paid for her to be born. So just for context, Julia Roberts was born in Smyrna, Georgia in 1967, and at that time, her parents ran a drama and acting school in Atlanta. At some point before Julia was born, Coretta Scott King asked if her kids could join the school even though they were black. Because remember, at this time, the South was still very, very segregated. Even the KKK was still running rampant throughout the region. But Julia's mother said yes and allowed the King kids to attend. In fact, Walter and Betty Roberts ran the only integrated children's theater group in Atlanta at the time. But the school was rarely, if ever, financially sound, and when Julia was born, her parents could not afford the hospital bill. So Coretta Scott and Martin Luther King Jr. gave the Roberts family the money that they needed. And obviously, when we learn about the civil rights movement in school, most of the pictures are black and white, but stories like this, and the one I made earlier this year about how Samuel L. Jackson literally kidnapped MLK Jr.'s father, show how this history was not that long ago, even though many conservatives try to make it seem like legalized, explicit racism was a thing of the distant past. Maybe I should even create a series connecting civil rights leaders to more modern people. Let me know in the comments if you guys would want something like that. Until then, you can check out the full essay I wrote about this topic with sources by going to my Substack at historycan'thide.substack.com or commenting the word newsletter on this video if you're on Instagram. And if you enjoyed this, follow for more breakdowns just like this.